In this video, we're going to go over 7 ways to love yourself 100% in 2023. Seth here, bringing the joy in the heart of nature, and we'll dive right into it here. The first way to love yourself 100% in 2023 is to be impeccable with your word. Say what you mean and mean what you say. When you try to please others and say stuff that you don't mean, or hold back on saying something because you don't feel like it's going to be accepted, it really hurts your self-image in a lot of ways, because you're not being impeccable with your word, you're not being authentic to yourself. You're putting out this facade or image based on what you think people want from you, not serving yourself at all. And that is not to be confused with being self-serving, as in very selfish, but you want to put yourself first and be authentic to who you really are to love yourself 100%. Really is a simple and yet complex subject that you could talk about for such a very long time. But in a nutshell, be impeccable with your word. Don't say stuff that you don't mean. And don't be afraid to say no. Sometimes people really need to hear that. Sometimes you're doing people a favor by saying no, even when you feel pressured to say yes. Just be impeccable with your word, and don't feel like you need to put out this image. Just be you, and be authentic, because an original is always going to be worth more than a copy. So, way number 2 to love yourself 100% in 2023. These mosquitoes just wanted to be part of this video, and that's totally cool with me. But way number 2 is to cultivate passionate activities that you enjoy every day. Something that you're fired up about or passionate about, like for me, is getting out here in the heart of nature and bringing the joy. Just having a jolly old time walking around in the forest, hanging out with the birds and the animals. The mosquitoes were, as long as they don't suck my blood, we're fine. I tell him, he can hang out, land on me if you want, but come on now. Nobody wants that. Cultivate something every single day, even if you only have 5 or 10 minutes and you want to read a chapter of a book, or just go out for a 5-minute walk, or anything else. Like if you're into drawing a picture and you only have 5 or 10 minutes, that still gets you more progress, and it gets those creative juices flowing, and it really gets you, it invigorates your energy of self when you take the time and prioritize that. Actively prioritize that in your life to love yourself 100% in 2023 is, like I said, I work super long hours every single day, and I bless the fact that we have longer daylight now, that I can actually get out here in nature and still get full light out, great lighting, excellent scenery. It's amazing. Springtime is so wonderful, because even if I have to do a hike in the dark, I do that. I will not be able to actually make a video quite like this in the dark, but I really love nature that much that I'll take out my flashlight and I'll walk around, just go for a little brief hike. Usually try not to go too far in the dark, but I've done some pretty intense stuff, like walking up and down a mountain in the dark. That was crazy. I don't know if I'm going to ever repeat that, but it was a very interesting experience. So way number 3 to love yourself 100% in 2023 is to rest and recover. Take the time to rest and recover, because even if you think you're being productive by just keeping on going, keeping on hammering it out, it might seem like you're getting somewhere. Instead of taking a nap, which is what you probably should do, because I've done this a lot, and then what happens is you go into a spiral where you start burning out, and not only are you not rested and recovered, but you don't have the energy to actually cultivate and funnel into those passionate activities that also help you love yourself 100%. It really becomes not the kind of spiral you want to be in. It's a downward spiral that will eventually get you to complete burnout if you don't rest and recover. So make time for rest and recovery. A fun story associated with that is that yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to make this video after work. I get home after work and I say, okay, I feel like I need to take a nap right now. So I set my alarm for 45 minutes and I said, I'm going to get up, go for a drive, go for a hike, and do this video after I take a nap. However, that never ended up working out, because that 45-minute nap, it turned into me sleeping all the way until next morning, because that's what I needed to really honor myself and rest and recover so that I can really funnel my energy into these creative energies here in the forest today, and really bring the joy to you in this video. Because if I'm burnt out, it becomes harder to bring the joy, and especially project it through the video screen. It's a lot harder to do that. Now, way number 4, how to love yourself 100% in 2023 is to set your boundaries, your values, your core values, the things that you will not compromise on. Even if it hurts somebody's feelings, don't be pressured into compromising to satisfy somebody else and undermine yourself, because that erodes your self-image once again, and your self-love and self-image will not only expand from you doing this, but the people that cannot take no for an answer will melt away from your life. And if your friends and your family can't take no for an answer, then it's really like, you really got to question that and really ask yourself, okay, do these people really have my best interest in mind? Or are they trying to project what they want me to do, or they want to see me do, into the way that they're interacting? Because friends and family will do that. And that's something you really got to question, is that, are those people really genuinely your friends if they're just projecting what they want onto you, and they have some kind of ulterior agenda about, oh, well, let's see if Seth can help me do this thing. But when you, for example, turn the tables and you say, hey, can you help me do this thing? Then they're not there for you. They just have this agenda that your so-called friendship fits into. So when you get to the point where you can set those boundaries and hold those core values to fruition, essentially, even if people put you under pressure and they try to get you to do something that you don't want to do, say no. Stick to your core values. Don't allow people to cross your boundaries, because that's a violation of your self-respect. And it's also even like it degrades your own self-image. You're just not loving yourself 100% if you don't stick to those boundaries and uphold them no matter what. Because if you don't put yourself first, nobody else is really going to do that. The most important relationship you can cultivate is the relationship between you and who you really are, your authentic self. And that's where those core values come from, is really cultivate that. Really get clarity on that. And then don't compromise on those core values. Way number 5 to love yourself 100% in 2023 is to change your beliefs. Now, I really love this quote from Abraham Hicks on beliefs, that a belief is nothing more than a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over again, repetitively. That becomes a belief system in your life. And for a lot of us, we have belief systems in our life that we keep thinking over and over and over again that really aren't helping us and really aren't serving us, really aren't helping us to love ourselves 100%. Take some time and really start asking yourself some more profound questions as you go through your day and stuff starts to happen. Like, let's say a lot of times this stuff comes up when something doesn't quite go as you had planned, and then you start going into this method of thinking, like degrading yourself in some way. Self-sabotaging thoughts come up in a lot of cases. And really ask yourself this question: is this serving me right now to think this thought? Or to ask this question of myself? Like really start to profoundly delve deeper into it and question those belief systems that maybe you thought and repetitively kept thinking for years and years and years. Like, for example, a lot of people think that they can't make a lot of money. Now, I bring up money because it's something that everybody can sort of relate to. And a lot of people have some very limiting beliefs associated with money. For example, people think, oh, I can't afford that. It's a very common statement and belief that a lot of people have. However, if you think about it, just think about this, okay? If you want to buy a $1 million house, you don't need the $1 million until you actually make that decision that you're going to buy the house. If you open that gateway and really have that vision in mind, really bring that vision to fruition, that you have a $1 million house, and that is really deep down what you'd like to have, and that $1 million is something that you need. Just open that gateway to the infinite abundance of the universe and start from the end and work your way back. The resources will show up. There will be a way for that to occur in your life. For example, I'm a real estate investor, and this was a belief that I started to cultivate several years ago now, that I'm a real estate investor. Whatever you say after I am is what you are. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. And you create in your life what you are based on your beliefs and based on the energy that you have. The energy that you emanate from yourself. And this is why I make a point of bringing the joy every single day, because joy cultivates more joy. and it brings more joyful people around, and an attitude of gratitude brings opportunity. So I said to myself, I am a real estate investor, and I kept repetitively saying this to myself. And over the years, these opportunities have started coming forth and allowing me to actually cultivate that and open up avenues where I've been able to acquire a couple of pieces of real estate, and I'm looking to expand my portfolio. I have a big vision with real estate, that I'm going to be in life an affordable provider of real estate here on my home island. That I see that affordable housing is not something that is in a high supply, unfortunately. However, I see myself as somebody that can create a solution to that. Therefore, I say I am a real estate investor, and I say these opportunities to acquire property and provide affordable housing to others show up in my life. I just open the doorway and allow the opportunities to flow in. Take inspired action when the opportunities show up. It takes the right eye to see opportunity in life. Whatever it is that you might be interested in doing in your life or cultivating, first of all, make the vision. Change your beliefs to allow that for yourself. And this is really delving into loving yourself 100%. Because anything is possible. Any limiting belief that you have, allow that to be up for questioning. Say, is this really true? Is this really true that I can't afford it? Or is that something that I just keep telling myself? Is that something that I just keep telling myself and limiting myself with, such that I am not cultivating my full potential based on this one statement that I can't afford it? Isn't that ridiculous to think about? It just really take some time to meditate on the statements that you say to yourself every single day, and how they are affecting the way that your life is turning out and the way that things are unfolding for you in your life. As I said, an attitude of gratitude brings opportunity. So way number 6 is to just be present. Take that time to be present no matter what you're doing. Allow yourself to sink into the present moment. This is what I call the art of meditation. Now, a lot of people have a lot of ideas about what meditation is and what meditation is not. However, what I believe meditation is as a practice is becoming present to the moment. Becoming present to the gift of the moment of now. The infinite moment of now. Now, 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 now. As soon as I say now, it's another moment of now. So, just sink into the present moment, no matter what you're doing. No, and it really will help you gain clarity. Just breathe in the fresh air. Really take time to feel the full breath coming into your lungs. Take the time, no matter what you're doing. If you're washing your hands, take the time to feel how it feels for the soap and water to run over your hands and cleanse them. If you're having a shower, take time to really feel it. Feel the water running over you. Feel the cleansing effect of you wiping the grime off of your body. If you're reading a book, really dive into the pages and become so present to what you're reading that nothing else really matters in that moment. You're inside that book in your imagination, and you're creating from the gift of the present. That's where our true power is in the present moment. The art of meditation is also, like, people really have this idea that you have to be still and sitting there like this to meditate, but that's not really true. That's a great place to start, to really feel what it feels like to dive into the present moment. However, you can meditate doing anything. All you have to do is become present to the gift of the present moment. You can meditate while you're at work. You can meditate while you're driving down the highway. You can meditate while you're at the grocery store. I can go on and on and on. You can meditate no matter what you do, no matter where you are in any given day. And that really helps you love yourself 100%. Because if you are not meditating and bringing yourself into the power of the present, I would go so far as to say you're not really living. Because so many people are worried about the future, or they're dwelling in the past. They're never in the present moment. Their awareness is never here. It's never centered in the moment of right now, in the here and now. That's where things are happening, is in the here and now. And really, this segues into the seventh way, how to love yourself 100%, and that is to really become aware of how you feel. Really become aware of your feeling, and really take into account if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling angry, for example, it's not something to beat up on yourself over. It's something to really analyze in not a self-critical way, but in a, okay, this is a warning that I'm separating from who I really am in some way, and therefore I'm feeling frustrated or feeling angry for some reason. And in order to love yourself 100% with your awareness of how you feel, if you're feeling frustrated, for example, just really take a pause. Do that sinking into the present moment, and really analyze how you feel. Because a lot of people are feeling a lot of mixed feelings, for example. So that in any given moment, a lot of people actually are not able to pinpoint exactly how they're feeling, because they're sort of feeling this, and they're sort of feeling this, and they're sort of feeling that, but they're not quite sure exactly how they're feeling. In order to love yourself 100% in the analysis of how you feel, you have to be your biggest fan in that analysis to really be a supporter of yourself and really focus on taking that relationship between you and who you really are, and just really think about those core values that you have that you're not going to compromise on again. This all ties together. All these 7 ways that I've talked about, it all ties together. And that's why, just really ask yourself why. Why am I feeling this way? And I've found, for example, this weekend, or last weekend, I guess, it's been a few days since the weekend. Time flies when you're having fun. But anyway, last weekend my cat disappeared, that I've had in my life for over 10 years. And I was feeling kind of depressed over it. And so I asked myself, why am I feeling this way? Why is this allowing me to feel depressed or depressing my energy in such a way. I really delved deep into it and thought about it for a really long time. And I realized I was feeling depressed over it because this cat had been my support system for so long. And I really need to shift that support system into myself. It's really, really awesome having a cat around, especially me and this cat. We've been through a lot together. She was with me when my mom went off the highway, and when my wife's mom died, unfortunately, as well. She's always there when things are up and when things are down, and just through everything, she's been very supportive to me as just my support animal. And so it was really depressing to go home and have her not be there. And so I realized that I was feeling depressed over it because I was, in a way, externalizing my own support for myself through this cat. As strange as that sounds, that's why I was feeling depressed over it. And I really needed to take that and internalize it into myself to be my own support system throughout anything that happens in life, and be my own generator of joy, regardless if this cat is here with me in the physical or here with me in the spirit. Because either way, it's hard to say what happened, and it's hard to say if we'll ever see her again. It would be really awesome if she did come back home and we got to do kitty snuggles again. But in the meantime, I'm stepping into my own support system of myself and really cultivating my self-love 100% this year in the here and now. And so here's a bonus one that I'm just thinking off the top of my head, is to really just remember to love yourself 100% in 2023, to remember that there's nothing serious going on here. We're just having a little bit of fun. We're here for a short time and a good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here to bring the joy, not feel depressed or angry or angsty in any way. That's separating from who we really are. And I find that statement really helps remind me to keep bringing the joy no matter what happens in life. No matter if I supposedly screwed something up, or if somebody else screwed something up that made it very difficult for me to do something, and that would maybe cause me to feel a certain way about it. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because there's nothing serious going on here. We're just having a little bit of fun and bringing the joy right here in the heart of nature. It's another beautiful day in paradise. Subscribe if you have found value in this video, and I will be sharing the joy with you again very soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace.